Get over here!
Hi guys, MS Malik 681 here, back again with another update to my story system. So this time I've introduced the option to do specific dialogues based on the character you've picked in the game, and also draw your own physical border or a custom made border for your text. So let's just jump straight into it. Get the game started here. So because I've picked Kula, there will be a part of the text that displays specific for her. So maximum just saying that we need to go after one of the bad guys. You pick them, and then because I've picked Kula here, she's got her own dialogue there saying that we should go after Ralph, and then we go after Ralph, and after we beat him, it shows the little, we'll call this the ending scene, so him just letting us know that we did a great job. So if we go back into it, but this time pick a different character. Okay, so this time it shows Maxima saying something because he's the character who's been selected, and the same thing over again. So let's start the game again with the final character, Mandy, or Mary as most people will know her in King of Fighters. And there, so they've all got their own pieces of text. You've got the border around the text, the custom drawn border. So those are the main two updates. I've also done some work in the background as well to make it easier to manage this story system. So as you can see here, this is the first main part text here. This is for the whole intro, and here is the option to do a choice. So that I've already covered in a previous video, but the new one here is the name. So I've set if the name matches Mandy. Now this second variable here, I've set, basically you can check every player for the character Mandy, player 1 to 4. I've put 5, so 1 to 4 will check specifically player 1, player 2, player 3 or player 4, but 5 checks all players. So let's say if we were playing a 2-player game, it would show this text from Mandy and it will show this text from Max, because both of them are set 5 here under the player number, so it checks all players to see if this character is available or in the game playing at that time. So the next variable after the player number check is where we would go if we find that player. So I've done all this relative to the line, so whatever line we're on here, line 5, it will go down by 1 line, so go to the very next line and play what. So if it finds Mandy, who is actually Mary, it will show her dialogue if it returns true. If it returns false, I've told it to go 2 lines down, so it will miss this and go to the next one here. So this is the next name check to see if Max is available, to see if we can do his dialogue. So it will skip down to him. He's got the same parameters as Mandy there. So again, if he's been picked anywhere, it will show his text by going 1 line down. Otherwise, it will skip 2 lines down and go to the next. And again, we've got a name checking for Kula, and she's got exactly the same again. Show her text if she's there. If she's not, go 2 lines down. And I've already covered this in one of my previous videos, that follow animation can now on the story system activate certain scripts that you've put in there. So let's just go back to the text. The other new thing that you may notice is I now have a title for this scene. The reason I've chose to use an ampersand, I mean, tell the truth, you can actually type anything for the scene name, anything you want. You could even write intro like that or whatever you want. I've just done an ampersand to make it easier to read and follow. You can do whatever you want, any piece of text. So when you spawn the entity now, what you want to do is do an alias, and whatever you set as the alias is the exact text it will look for from this text document as the first argument on the line. So it has to be the very first argument. There shouldn't be anything before that. Once it finds intro, so we've spawned story there, and once it finds the alias or the intro, it will start from this very next line. So all the code starts from there. So whether you want to add something in here, like you can put comments. This is the intro. So it'll make it easier for you to follow. So you can move this as many spaces up or down as you want, because that intro text will move with it, and it will always find that and then start displaying from there. So this chunk of text, so this whole lump of code here, this is all the intro. It can be moved anywhere. So it's a lot easier to put comments in to make your story system easier to follow, especially if you're going to use one text file for all the cutscenes of the whole game. So there's going to be a lot of stuff here, and it's always going to be getting changed and updated. So the way I had it before, where I was spawning it and looking for a specific line, if you added any other lines, it just caused all kinds of problems and issues. There was a go-to command. I believe I did cover that in my previous videos. So go-to lets you skip a certain amount of lines down. In some situations you might want to use that. So the go-to command is has been changed to be just like this, so relative to the line you're on. So right now, if I wanted to, instead of showing Kula's text, just go to the follow one here, I could just type hashtag go to 2. So it will just go 2 lines down from where it is. So that option is still there, but changed slightly. And yeah, let's look at the scripting for the actual. So at the top here, I've added some user set files, so you can actually specify where your story text document is, the one I was just looking at. You can also set where your border graphic will be. You can also set where the push animations will be. So I've only done it to 2 frames. You'd have to recode it a bit just to add more frames if you wanted to, but I mean a simple push animation should get most people through. So here we have the border. So I've made a comment here letting you know that if you comment this border out, it will just go back to the traditional. Let's just save that. It'll go back to the way I had it before. So let's just load it so I'll show you. It'll go back to the scripted border that you draw. So that's the old style border I was using. So they're both as good as each other. It just depends on your preference. So just commenting that out down here, it will actually choose. So I've got an if statement here. If the border's not been specified, then go to the draw box option or the scripted text border. On top of that, not sure if there's anything else I changed there. Yeah, I think those are the main ones. They actually took me a bit longer than I thought they would. But yeah, hopefully having these documents here, or being able to specify them right here, and again having the alias find your scene for you, that's that bit there. It'll just make things a lot easier for you. And one other thing I did want to mention, in most of my for loops I do an exit clause, like just in case the for loop's gone to a stupidly high number and you still haven't found what you're looking for, it's probably broken. So I've set it to 10,000. If you're using more than 10,000 lines of text, you've probably got a very big game. So I mean, you can find these just in case something breaks, parts of the for loops, and you can increase that with an extra 0. That'll make it 100,000 or whatever you prefer. But normally this is just in case it breaks. It puts a log in the Openbor log to let you know something broken, which part of the script broke. So for example, if you do spawn a story entity and you put an invalid alias and it can't find it, it will keep going. So the for loop would actually crash open Beats of Rage, but this thing here stops it from crashing. So if it gets to 10,000, it still hasn't found a valid line, it will just end that for you. So yeah, again, this will be the last update for a while. I'm actually going to get back to my Double Dragon mods soon. But if there's any questions or issues around this, just drop me a comment at the Chrono Crash website. Hope everyone enjoys the update, and thanks for your time. See you later.